never considered who should be authorized to speak on behalf of the dead and receive the check. In the ensuing battles between a victim's fiancé and his biological parents, between the same-sex partner and the siblings of a lost brother or sister, my legal training had little direct value. This book also describes the impact that administering the program had on me personally. After committing 3 years of my life to the 9/11 Fund, I could not simply return to the world that existed before the attacks. That world is gone. It disappeared in the horror of that day. Placing a value on life and distributing over $7 billion in public money to 5,562 people, all under the watchful eye of the public, Congress, and the Bush administration, affected my physical health. It also triggered a reordering of my priorities, both personal and professional. If the fund played some role in influencing the future course of the 9/11 families, it also changed my life, I believe, for the better. I need to say a word about the personal stories and quotations that appear throughout this audiobook. In writing this book, I've been very mindful of the need to respect the privacy of all those touched by the work of the 9/11 Fund, especially the families that lost loved ones in the terror attacks and those physically injured. At the same time, it would be impossible to describe the work of the fund intelligibly without recounting some of my experiences in dealing with those families and victims and allowing them to describe their feelings in their own words. Therefore, I sought permission from a few of the 9/11 families and victims to tell a little of their story, including, in some cases, quoting their testimony from hearings I conducted on behalf of the fund. Whenever a family is mentioned by name, or a family member or injured victim is quoted, it is with their express written consent. I am grateful to the individuals involved for their willingness to provide this consent. When I make a general point that would not be clarified by reference to a particular family, I describe composite cases, usually with quotations, that are representative of many 9/11 families and victims. These composite or typical cases should not be taken as referring to any identifiable persons, and any apparent similarity to a particular individual is purely coincidental. As every first-time author discovers, writing a book is a team effort, and I'm grateful to the many individuals who have played a role in helping me capture my experiences in this book. This book could not have been written without the full cooperation of officials of the Department of Justice, who provided me with helpful guidance on how to comply with all federal statutes and regulations pertaining to the publication of a book dealing with the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund of 2001. A special thanks is owed Robert McCallum, the Associate Attorney General, and Kenneth Zwick, Director, Office of Management Programs, who coordinated the overall effort, along with Peter Keisler, Assistant Attorney General, Civil Division, and Chad Boudreau, former senior counsel to the Deputy Attorney General. I also appreciate the contribution of Department of Justice lawyers who advised me on the intricacies and complexities of the privacy laws, particularly Stuart Frisch, General Counsel of the Justice Management Division, Janice Rogers, Deputy Director, Departmental Ethics Office, and Richard L. Huff, Co-Director, Office of Information and Privacy. Stacy Perval at PricewaterhouseCoopers was most cooperative in providing me all the September 11 Fund data and statistics, which are interspersed throughout the book corroborating the success of the fund. A special word of thanks to my office administrator, Camille Byros, who read various drafts and provided helpful suggestions. Camille helped administer the fund from its inception, and her valuable insights, based on first-hand experience, kept me on a steady course. I also acknowledge the valuable assistance of 2 loyal and dedicated secretaries, Juanita Wilkins and Joyce DeBoss Wilkins, who typed the entire manuscript and made appropriate suggestions when clarifications were needed. My editors at Public Affairs offered valuable, constructive editing suggestions to a first-time author unfamiliar with the unique world of publishing. A special thank you to Kate Darnton, Lindsay Jones, and Carl Weber, who took a rough manuscript and turned it into a finished product worthy of publication. I also thank my wife Dee Dee and brother David for their devotion and